Auntie, please help me. Maggots are coming out of my private part. Laughter. What did you do, Safida? Music. I don't know, Auntie. I woke up and found myself like this. Safra, I have warned you, but you didn't listen. I told you the way you are living will one day destroy you. Safira was the only child of her parents. They lived in the village of Odenta. Her parents spoiled her so much that anything she asked for, her father would give to her. Her parents loved her so much that they never saw the bad things she did. Every morning, when other children were leaving their homes for school, Safira would stay in bed and refuse to wake up. Her mother would try to make her get up and get ready for school. But she would say, "I don't want to go to school today, Mama. I just want to sleep." Her father, hearing this from the other room, would say, "Leave her to sleep." And that's how school would go on without Safra. In the village, Safra was rude to everyone, including the elders. She walked past them without saying hello. People said that she once pushed an old woman to the ground for stepping on her at the village market by the stream. She was always in the middle of a fight, and she was always the first to break people's water pots. When parents in the village told her father about it, her father would just wave his hand and say she is just a child. He would take out money and pay for their broken pots. He never warned Safra or corrected her. Safira kept on with her behavior until one morning, something very sad happened. Her father was climbing a palm tree to get palm wine. He slipped and fell. He was rushed to the village healer, and they tried everything they could, but the healer could not make him better. He died in the evening. The family mourned him for days, especially Safra, who was close to her father. Safra cried louder than everyone in the compound. She threw herself on the dusty ground. "Papa, Papa, don't leave me," she screamed. But the dead cannot answer the cries of the living. The villagers gathered around the compound, whispering to each other. Some shook their heads. Slowly, an old woman, Mama Eber, leaned on her walking stick and sighed. This child, if only her father had corrected her when he was alive. But Safira's mother was too sad to hear anything. Days turned into weeks. The house that used to be full of laughter slowly became quiet. Without her father's money, things began to change. Getting food was a problem. Sometimes they could only eat one meal a day. The wrapper Safra used to wear became old. Her mother started going to the farm very early in the morning just to feed them. She would ask Safra to come with her to the farm, but she would refuse. She refused to help her mother with the house chores. She was always seen wandering around the village square like she owned the village. She still insulted people. She still refused to greet elders. Sometimes she would leave the house in the morning and come back at night. Her mother would ask her questions, but she would push her and walk inside. The villagers began to shake their heads whenever they saw her. One evening, Mama called her. "Safira, my daughter, come here." Syra stopped and looked at the old woman, feeling annoyed. "What is it again?" The old woman sighed. "Your father is no longer alive to cover up your mistakes. Change your ways before the world teaches you a lesson you will never forget." Safra hissed loudly. "Old woman, mind your business." And she walked away without looking back. From that day on, the villagers stopped giving her advice. They just watched. Months passed. Safra began to make new friends, strangers who came from nearby villages. They were older boys who loved drinking and walking around at night. They would gather behind the old empty hut near the forest, laughing, drinking, and dancing loudly. Safra loved the attention they gave her. For the first time since her father died, she felt important again. Her mother saw the change. One night when Safra came home very late, her mother asked her about it. "Safra, where are you coming from at this time of the night?" Safra rolled her eyes. "Why are you asking me? Am I a child?" Her mother's voice shook. "My daughter, please. The path you are taking is dangerous." But Safira pushed the door open and went into the house. "Leave me alone." That night, her mother sat next to her and gave her advice as a mother. "My daughter, your father is not alive. We don't have anyone to help us anymore. Please go back to school. One day, I too will leave you. I want you to become a doctor." Safira rolled her eyes and said, "Mama, school is not for me. I don't like school, but I know my future is bright, and I will be rich and take care of myself. Safira stood up and walked inside to sleep. Her mother sat outside for a while, deep in thought. She finally made up her mind. She would send Safira to live with her sister in town and learn a trade since she refused to go to school. 2 weeks later, Safira and her mother got on a bus to the city. The trip was long. Dust from the road blew into the bus windows as the people inside tried to breathe. Safira sat by the window, chewing peanuts and looking outside without caring. Her mother kept looking at her from time to time. Sometimes she would open her mouth as if she wanted to say something, but she would close it again. The bus finally got into the busy town in the late afternoon. Cars were honking everywhere. Motorcycles zipped quickly between the cars. Safira had never seen a place this crowded before. Her eyes grew wide. "So this is the city," she said quietly. Her mother held her hand. "Remember why you are here. Your auntie will teach you how to sew. If you learn well, your future will be good." Safira shrugged. "We will see." They finally arrived in front of a small compound where her mother's sister lived. The gate was rusty, but the compound was clean. Her auntie, Aunt Ngozi, was sitting outside under a mango tree, cutting pieces of cloth. She looked up when she saw them. "Ah, my sister, you have come." The two women hugged each other tightly. After saying hello, her auntie turned and looked at Safira from head to toe. "So, this is Safira?" Her mother nodded slowly. "Yes, she is now in your care." Aunt Ngozi looked at Safira carefully. Her eyes were sharp, like someone who had seen many things in life. "My daughter," she said calmly, "this town is not like your village. Here if you choose the wrong road, the bad results will catch up with you quickly." Safira said nothing. She just looked away and kicked a small stone on the ground. Her mother sighed deeply. That evening, they ate together quietly. The next morning, Safira's mother got ready to go back to the village. She hugged her daughter tightly. "My child, please listen to your auntie. Learn something useful with your life." Safira nodded without caring. "I heard you, Mama." Her mother got on a bus and left. As the bus went away down the road, Safira stood by the gate, watching quietly. For the first time since leaving the village, she felt a strange, empty feeling inside her. But instead of thinking deeply about it, Safira turned and walked back into the compound. City life was just beginning. Aunt Ngozi was a strict woman who owned a small hair salon in the busy market. From the first day Safira arrived, she noticed things were different. There was no spoiling, no one to stand up for her. Auntie Ngozi woke up before sunrise every morning, and Safira had to wake up too. "Stand up," Aunt Ngozi would shout. In this house, everybody works, but Safira hated the life. She hated sweeping the compound. She hated fetching water. She hated standing in the salon watching customers braid their hair. Many times she tried to sneak out to wander around the town, but Auntie Ngozi always found out. "You think this is your father's house?" She was cold. Still, Safira refused to change. In the evenings, she began to sneak out in secret. Behind the market, there was a small beer parlor where young boys gathered. That is where Safira found new friends again. They bought her drinks. They told her she was pretty. They told her she was too beautiful to be working in a salon. Slowly, Safira started coming home very late again, sometimes after midnight. One night, Aunt Ngozi caught her sneaking in. "Safira," she shouted. Safira froze. "Where are you coming from?" Safira folded her arms without saying a word, and Tingo's face turned hard. "Listen to me carefully. The life you are chasing will destroy you." But Safira only laughed. The warnings meant nothing to her. Auntie Ngozi went on. "You refuse to go to school and everything to learn a trade you don't want. What exactly do you want with your life?" Safira answered with full confidence. "Auntie, I know my future is bright. I will marry a rich man, and you all will see." Weeks passed, then months. Safira became well known among the boys around the market. One day, Safira met a young man on her way to her aunt's shop. She met a young man standing by the roadside looking confused. He stopped and asked for directions. Safira showed him the way. After that, the young man took her number and promised to call her. That evening, when Safira came back home, she could not sleep. She waited for the young man to call. She turned from one side of the bed to the other. Every small buzz of her phone made her heart jump. She told herself quietly, I have met the man who will change my life. He is not just handsome. He is rich as well. 3 days later, she got a call from a number she did not know. When she asked who the person was, he told her his name. Hello, Safra. This is Ken, the young man you met the other day. Sophia was so excited that she jumped up from the bed. Her heart began to beat fast. Ken asked her on a date, and she quickly said yes without thinking. That evening, when she dressed up to see Ken, her aunt stopped her at the door. Safra, where are you going? Auntie, I am Clear's throat going to see my husband-to-be. Which husband? Safra, you have to be careful. This is not the village you know. Safira rolled her eyes. I am not a child, Aunt. I am 20 years old. I can take care of myself. She went out with Ken. They went shopping for clothes. Ken bought her beautiful dresses and expensive shoes. He also bought her a brand new iPhone. Safra could not believe it. Ken kept smiling at her. You are a very special woman, Safra. I loved you the first day I saw you. My dream is to marry a beautiful woman like you. Those words melted her heart. Later that evening, he dropped her off at home. Before she got out of the car, he gave her some money. Take this and buy anything you like. Safra looked at the money in shock. She had never held that much money before. She ran inside the compound, excited. She showed Aunt Goy everything, the clothes, the phone, the money. Auntie Goy looked at everything quietly. She was not happy, but she forced a small smile. My daughter, this kind of thing is rare to come by. But still, be careful with this guy. Safira waved her hand like it didn't matter. There is nothing to worry about, Auntie. That night, Safir called her mother proudly. Mama, you people said I would not do anything good in life. See me now. I have an iPhone now. Mama, send your account number. I will send you some money. Her mother was quiet for a moment on the phone. My daughter, be careful. Not everything that shines is gold. But Safira had already ended the call. The next morning, Aunt Gowatsi woke up early as usual. Safra, wake up. We are going to the shop. But Safra refused. Auntie, I am too big to work in a salon now. She turned to the other side of the bed and kept tapping on her new phone. Auntie and Nosy looked at her for a long time, but she said nothing. She quietly picked up her bag and left for the market alone. Safira stayed at home chatting with Ken all day from morning till night. Ken kept giving her gifts and money. Every few days, he would come pick her up in his car. Sometimes they would go to fancy restaurants. Sometimes they would go to nightclubs in the city. Safira began to live a life she had only dreamed of before. New clothes, new phone, money in her bag. She began to walk around the market with pride. Even the girls who used to laugh at her now looked at her with jealousy. Safra stopped helping her aunt at all. She stopped going to the salon. She stopped doing chores. All she did was wait for Ken's calls. One evening, Aunt Goy called her and asked her to sit down. She said, Safira, I know you love this Ken, but I am still telling you to be careful. My heart does not trust this Ken. I am still telling you, stay away from this guy. Safira frowned right away. Auntie, I know now that you don't like to see me doing well. You are jealous because at your age, no man has come for you and you don't have a husband. Her aunt's eyes grew wide in shock. Before Safra could say another word, slap. The sound rang out in the compound. Aunt Sinji had slapped her hard across the face. You are rude and disrespectful, she shouted. You don't know my story. Seer held her cheek angrily. You know what? I am leaving your house. I've been putting up with this dirty, smelly house of yours. Ken has a beautiful place. I will move in with him. And Tingatsi suddenly became worried. If Safra left, what would she tell her sister? Her sister trusted her to take care of the girl. She begged her, Safra, please calm down. Think about what you are doing. But Safra had already made up her